Hey guys, my name is Alexandra Valentine and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Here we post all things fashion, sewing related and sewing tutorials. If this is something you are interested in, kindly hit on the subscribe button to join the family, and if you end up enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up, like this video guys. So in today's class we are going to be sewing a straight pants with side pockets. So in our last tutorial class we drafted and cut out the pant. So if you have not watched it, please kindly click in the description link below and be updated before you come back to watch this sewing part. Okay, this is just the sewing part of the straight pants. So let's just get straight into the video. Now we are going to bring out our pieces, which is the front part and the back part. As we already know from our cutting video that the front part is always different from the back part, so you might want to go and watch it to understand what we are talking about. So before we go ahead and join everything together, let's go ahead and sew in our side pockets first, because you might want to do that first before you start stitching or coupling your trousers. So this is the front part, one piece of the front part. We'll keep that aside, and we are going to take a piece of fabric and fold it into four like this. So you do the first folding and then you do another folding. I did not indicate the measurement, that's the width or the breadth of the pocket of this folding, but you might want to make the length very long and the width not up to your crotch length. Okay, now I'm just going to cut out this fold that I folded here. You can see it's wide enough and it's also long enough, and by the time I place my trouser on this, you see it's not even up to my crotch area. That's for the width of it, Abby. So now I'm just going to cut it out, and so this is our cut out piece. Now we'll bring the front part or the trouser that we took out earlier. We are going to bring it on top of it like this. So we want to make sure that the waistline is aligned, everything is well placed. The side of the pocket is also aligned, that the side of the trouser is aligned, then the waistline is also in place. Okay, so now I'm going to use my scissors to just follow the shape of the trouser, that's the hip side and the waist side only. I'll be cutting it out on the folded pieces that is underneath this trouser. Okay, so I'm just going to cut out. You can see that it's now in shape, it's now carrying the shape of the trouser, and I also repeat the same thing for the waist. So this is what we have at the end of the day. You are not even seeing what we have underneath because we have aligned it with the shape of the trouser. So I'm just going to keep this pocket part aside for now, and we'll work on the trouser part. Remember, we are trying to create our side pocket for this particular trouser. So I'm going to place the two parts of the trouser together, and from the waistline here I'll be going in by 2 inches. Remember when we were drafting our patterns, we added 2 inches for stitching allowance. So that is the 2 inches that I'm going to take out on the waistline. Okay, so I'm going to mark 2 inches there. Then I'll come down from the waistline by 6 inches. Okay, this is the length of your pocket. 6 inches or 5.5 is fine. So on that marked point, I will also take out my 2 inches for allowance. Okay, so I'm just going to connect the 2 points together in a straight line and also meet the horizontal line. So I'm going to make a slight curve to go into the horizontal line, just like you see me doing now. So I'm just going to make this line very visible so that you'll be able to see it clearly. So you see it's coming all the way from that 2-inch marked point from the waistline into the pocket length, the length of the pocket. So now I'm just going to cut this out and we'll proceed from here. So remember our pocket was on a fold of 4, which indicated that it's 2 pockets we cut out. Okay, so I'm just going to carry the pocket like this and I'll open it up. It's still having 2 pieces when I open it up like this for 2 parts. So you want to make sure that it's either right side facing each other or wrong side facing each other. It should not be opposite. Right side facing each other or wrong side facing each other. Then you open it up, place it down, then bring your trouser pattern and cut out that part, that pocket part. You are going to cut it out. Okay, so in case you don't understand, you might want to rewatch it so that you get it. So now I'm just going to cut out this pocket length that we cut out from the trouser. I'm just going to trace it out with my scissors and cut it out. Okay, so after that I'm going to take 1 piece of the trouser and 1 piece of the pocket. I'm going to take it like this and I'll match the pocket part to the trouser part. Okay, I'm just illustrating how it will look like at the end of the day. So you see the reason why we cut out 1 part, so that it will enable the open space, and then the other one will just serve as a replacement for the cutout. Okay, this is the way it's supposed to be looking like. So let's just go into the sewing part. So I'm going to place this pocket part on it. Make sure that it's right side facing each other, and I'll repeat the same thing for the other side as well. So just make sure that it is right side facing each other. So I'm going to stitch along that curve like that. Okay, so I have stitched it down and this is what it looks like. So you can go ahead and notch it before turning it. Okay, so what I just did is now to flip it over and I will top stitch. I'll top stitch around that curve area. So after that, you want to flip it to the back, and after you finish top stitching, make sure you top stitch first. You want to flip it to the back, then you will join this bottom part of the 2 piece together, of the pocket part together. Then you stitch the waistline, that's both the trouser and the pocket, and also the side. But for the bottom part of this pocket, you want to stitch only the pocket, not with the trouser. Okay, so I've gone ahead to do that off camera, and this is what it's looking like. You can see that the pocket side is top stitched and the waist side is joined together. So this is the pocket side. I have top stitched it. I have stitched down the side, the waist area, and also the bottom pocket. Okay, if that makes sense. So you want to go ahead to do the same thing to the other side as well, and we'll start coupling them together. Now we'll bring the other part of the trouser, which you must have added your pockets to. Okay, then you are going to stitch along the crotch area like this, and also stitch the back crotch as well together. Make sure that your fabric is right side facing each other before you stitch down. So this is what the crotch is looking like after we finish stitching down the crotch area. So the next thing I want to do is to sew in our dart. So you can see I'm starting from the joining part, which is the mid part. I'm going by the side by 4 inches. And we'll just mark that 4 inches with our chalk. because it's at this point that we're so in our that. So I'm just going to fold it on that marked point. Okay, I'll fold it. Then I'll come from the waistline downwards by 5 inches. So this is where the dart is going to stop. So on the waistline also I'm going to mark half an inch. So it is from that half an inch point that I will sew towards that 5 inches. I'll sew it in like this in a triangle way. Okay, so I'll repeat the same thing for the other side as well. And this is what we have at the end of the day. Now to the front part, I went ahead to loosen the pocket from the waistline a little bit so that I'll be able to sew in my dart. So I just repeated the dart procedure here as well. So right now I'm just going to stitch back that pocket in place. Okay, so that's what we have there. And now I am going to join the crotch area together. That's for both the back and the front part. Okay, make sure that the joining at that crotch area is well aligned. So I'm just going to start from the middle there all the way to the bottom part. I'm going to stitch it in a straight line. Okay, and I'm also going to do the same thing to the other side, to the other leg as well. So after that, because this trouser has a fly zipper, I'm just going to attach my fly zipper to this part. Okay, if you have not watched the video on how to make a fly zipper, it will also be in the description box below. Just go and watch it and return so that you will not be confused. So I have gone ahead to attach my fly zipper. Remember, it's in a separate video on the channel, so just go and watch it. So this is how the zipper is looking like, the fly zipper is looking like. I promise you guys, the video is as clear as water and it's very understandable, very detailed as well. So just go and watch it and come back. So the next thing to do now is to join the sides of our trouser, because we've joined the crotch area, and this is how it's looking like. I've joined it, that straight stitch that I said you should do, and then at the hem of the trouser I just folded it and just stitched it down. So I folded it 1, folded 2, and I stitched it down. So that's what we did here. And for the other leg as well, I repeated the same procedure. So now we are just going to join the two sides together. Remember, when we were drafting our patterns, we added 2 inches allowance. So it is that 2 inches allowance now that we are going to stitch down. That on that 2 inches allowance now we are going to stitch down, and we are going to stitch it down on both sides. Okay, so I've gone ahead to stitch it down, and this is what it is looking like. I stitch it down with 2 inches allowance. So this is what it's looking like on both sides. So right now I'm just going to flip this in. I'm just going to turn it to the right side, and the thing left to do now will be to attach our waistband. So this is how our trouser is looking like. Again, the pocket is in place, and the the fly zip is also in place. So the thing we want to do now is to cut out our waistband and stitch it down. So for our waistband, we want to cut a strap as long as your waist measurement plus 5 inches. Okay, your waist measurement plus 5 inches, just to be safe. And then for the width, unfold is 2.5. Okay, unfold is 2.5. So for the length, it should just be your round waist measurement plus 5 inches. So if your round waist measurement is 26 inches, so that means you are going to cut a length of 31 inches thereabouts, or 30 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one side. Remember, this is on a fold of 2. I cut the width on a fold of 2, so I'm just going to take one part of it and I will stitch around until it gets to this other end of the zip fly. So I have stitched down that in place. So what we'll do now is to cover up that waistline with the second part. Okay, so I'm just going to fold it right side facing each other so that I'll be able to cover this edge up. So I'm just going to stitch across this point, and I'll also repeat the same thing for this side as well. So now after that, I'm going to flip this over. You can see I've stitched out that's in place, so I'm just going to flip it over like this. Okay, so you see we'll have a nice edge at that point, so I'm going to do the same thing to that other side, and this is what we have. So now the next thing to do is to just turn this over and use it to cover up the waist. So I am going to fold, just watch this part closely so that you don't have a rough waistline. Okay, inside you want to make sure that everything is neat in and out. So from this side, I'm just going to fold in 1/2 inch. Okay, and I'll fold it in, and then I'll be stitching. When I'm stitching, I'll just keep folding in 1/2 inch. You want to keep doing this until you reach the other end of the fly zipper. And please, if at any point you notice that it's not balanced anymore, you can make small pleats in between until you get to the end. But if you do it rightly, you will not have to make any pleats. So that's all about the making of a trouser with waistband and a side pocket. So if you end up enjoying this video, or you found this video very helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. Here we post a lot of sewing tutorials, and engaging one at that. I'm very sure you will find anyone very helpful. So kindly just hit on the subscribe button to join the family, and also hit on the notification bell to get notified whenever we post a new video. So until next time, bye. Thank you so much. Bye.